When I think about a teacher who really has had a profound impact on my life, I have to go back to my early roots living on a farm in the low country of South Carolina, and that person was my grandfather. I oftentimes got off the school bus in the afternoons at his little farmhouse. I spent summer days with him all summer long while my parents were working. And the wonderful thing about my grandfather was that he was a person who was a self-educated man born in 1889. He lived to be almost 94 years old, lived on the farm his whole life. But what he brought to me was a real sense of how to observe the world, how to look at the environment, how to watch the relationships among the animals, the plants, the people that would stop to buy eggs from him or to visit. And so he really taught me to observe the world. And that's caused me to really look at education more as what I call an ecosystem, than to look at it as a hierarchy or to look at it through a mechanistic perspective. But the other thing that my grandfather taught me is that any one person can be a person who really thinks about social good. He was the kind of person that anybody that needed anything that lived in our little country neighborhood, they knew they could go to him and he would help them out. He was always there to talk to the kids that were his grandchildren about anything that we wanted to talk about. He was a man of great wisdom. He had an 8th grade education. And one of the things that I realized is that when he died, that real sense of what it means to be self-educated was so clear to me, because he was a person who was born in a time when people were riding around in wagons in the country. But when I started going through some of his photographs that he had taken over the years, I found this amazing picture that he had taken with a Polaroid camera when the first astronauts landed on the moon. And he had taken this beautiful picture that was on just this little, probably 9-inch television set. And one of the things that I thought about is that my grandfather was always really open to what was coming next in the world. And that really caused me to be somebody who I think has remained really open to learning and being excited about what's the next thing that really is influencing what we're able to do to really open as many pathways to learning as possible for young people. So when I reflect back on my grandfather, despite the fact that he was somebody that knew the woods better than a book, and that he understood the world better through what he was able to do as a one person of social good in his neighborhood, that the reality is that he's the kind of person that I think has shaped this country and that really sent the message to children: education is important and take advantage of everything that you can to really become as educated as possible.